Okay, here's the Yahoo Flysky radio groups setting Flaperons. So first of all, you go to the menu setting to the Flaperon, and you get state, inhibited, activated, aileron 1, aileron 2, flap 1 and flap 2. So you set all of these at 50s, minus 50s and plus 50s, so you don't overmove the servo and hit stops, because they are additive. The aileron movement and the flap movement will add together to create the 100%. So first of all, let's activate. So we activate. Now we have the flap knob turned all the way to the left, so that is effectively our zero flap position. The aileron stick, of course, is centered. Now if you look at the servos, the two servos I have here, you'll see that the servo arms are centered, with the flap control at 0 all the way to the left and the aileron stick centered. So the servos themselves are centered. Now the arms are centered. Now because we've activated the Flaperon, we move the flap control. You can see the servo arms move together to deflect the flaps. Moving it back to 0, it's all proportional, comes back to dead center. Looking at the aileron stick, we get the aileron movement. Now if we deflect the flaps and move the aileron stick again, you can see we get aileron movement. So what we're doing is we're adding together the flap movement, which is 50% of servo travel, and the aileron movement, which is the other 50%, making sure we do not overdrive the servo and keeping the differential for aileron but the same direction for the flaps. The amount of surface movement we would control by obviously the control rods and the servo arm position, hole position, and where we connect the clevis on the surface. Now if we want to have the knob working the other way, what we would do, we would make the flap 1 and flap 2, instead of positive we would make them negative, and when we would move the arms to the center position. So that means that when we turn up to the left, we would get deflecting the flaps down. Personally, I think left to right seems to be more, shall we say, logical, but some people may prefer to turn it the other way. There you are. No need for mixing, no need for anything fancy. It's basically a situation of setting the servo arms at center when the flap control is at minimum, and all the surface settings, the servo settings for the Flaperon menu, are set to 50s. That's it. Over.